Thanks for choosing us. Now, Ghana fell to the 5th position in trade attractiveness and openness among 15 African countries in the 3rd edition of the Stanbic Trade Barometer report. South Africa maintained its position as number 1 in terms of trade infrastructure development and attractiveness. This is an indication that Ghana's trading community continues to face numerous challenges in doing cross-border business. Speaking to Joy Business after a short ceremony to launch the report, Head of Trade Financing at Stanbic Bank, Francis Tembi Appiah, disclosed that results show the slowdown in economic activities at the ports.
Ghanaian businesses face significant obstacles in global trade, including import and export bans, tariffs, and customs requirements. 41% of surveyed businesses feel that customs and trade regulations represent a major or severe obstacle, constraining their ability to engage in trade with other African countries. Speaking to Joy Business after a short ceremony to launch the report, Head of Trade Financing at Stanbic Bank, Francis Tembi Appiah, disclosed that the result is a reflection on the economy.
In the other 2 editions, you saw after South Africa, Ghana really was, Ghana was the second, across infrastructure, trade openness, trade attractiveness, and all that. But in this particular issue, we have dropped to number 5. That goes to also buttress the point that whatever effect that people are talking about on the economy is really on the ground. So this data is not just data that are given to IMF or the central bank. We go down to the trader and they interview them. And not just one, but across about over 2,500 traders. So it is something that strikes me a lot, that we are trying to get to a point, but compared to our peers, we seem to be coming down, and this is very revealing.
Head of Business and Commercial Clients at Stanbic Bank, Farihan Al-Hassan, highlighted the importance of the report to the trading community.
What happens in other countries. So it's not just about what happens in Ghana alone. The report typically talks about what happens in the 10 most important countries. That's how we target in Africa: Uganda, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Angola, Ghana, and some other countries. And for me, it's just to find a way of relating what happens there to what happens in Ghana and see how you could take opportunities in those countries. The purpose, as I indicated, is just to ensure that we increase our intra-Africa trade. So if you are selling poultry products to the USA, to Germany, this report tells you that there's another big market in Uganda or in Kenya that you can take advantage of. And perhaps it's just worth exploring those markets to see whether they would offer you competitive trading terms or not.
Ghana is behind Mozambique, Namibia, and Nigeria in the current rankings.
Now, economist Professor Peter Korte has criticized Ghana's procurement system, saying it is promoting corruption. According to him, the country's procurement system needs to be checked and reviewed to ensure value for money and accountability of government expenditure. Here's more.
Procurement for most government projects are conducted by the Public Procurement Authority as the state agency mandated to grant approvals before any transaction. Many have questioned the relevance of this process after it emerged that some of these procurements are overpriced after auditing. According to the director of ISE, Professor Peter Korte, this is also a contributory factor to the overspending in the economy.
We still see some of the leakages. Some of the expenditures that we see, they are not value for money spending. The procurement process itself, if you look at the cost of a particular procurement and you should go to the market to buy, the gap, the disparity is just too huge to justify such or warrant such an expenditure. I think our procurement processes are not helping us. We are encouraging or centralizing corruption. We are helping others to benefit, rent seekers to benefit from the system. Procurement has to be dealt with. And
he therefore called for a tracking system to ensure that every procurement is done according to its intended purpose.
Then as well as ensuring value for money spending in all the areas. Expenditure tracking itself is important, that you track from the point you release the funds up to the end beneficiary to see that, yes, the money is trickling down to the intended people. I think we don't do a lot of that. We wait and do post-audit. That is not the way to go. You also track the spending.
Meanwhile, the government fiscal deficit for this year is expected to go down.
Ghana's pension scheme faces sustainability concerns a decade from now, as indicated in the 2022 Financial Stability Review report. The report highlighted government defaulted on pension contributions for public sector workers between October last year and May 2023. However, pensions analyst Andrew Saglobi remains optimistic. He asserts that controlling inflation and interest rates will bolster the scheme, ensuring timely pension payments.
Most of the private pension schemes are doing well, irrespective of the arrears that are built, and those arrears, when the employer usually coming from the public sector schemes are being paid, yes, they are paid like 2 or 3 months, and then the investments are done. So the other challenge, which I can say now, is the high interest rate that we find ourselves in the country. So when you are having an investment such as pension scheme that will pay you a bulk money at once, and you have interest rate that inflation that are higher, it makes that most of the private pension schemes now are having the challenge called negative real returns. Okay, because if you look at, let's take an example. For example, we know that the inflation rates for the last month was around 40%, which it has even come down. Now take 1 year treasury bill rate, or the government of Ghana treasury bill for 1 year is for 32%. The 3 months are around 28, 20 something. So a pure theory will tell that if you take away the inflation from it, you get negative returns. So real return is a challenge for people now. So if we can be able to control the inflations, which is a major challenge for people who have fixed income like that, I think that the most returns that are done by the private sector, around 20, above 20, it's quite meaningful returns. So once the economic fundamentals are controlled, their contributions comes.
Moving on, the Ghana Stock Exchange placed 9th in dollar terms among 15 stock markets in Africa ending September this year. In local currency terms, the Accra Burs placed 4th. Here's more in this report.
The GSE recorded a 29.8% return in cedi terms for investors in the third quarter of 2023. In dollar terms, it registered a 0.22% return for investors. This is coming on the back of the International Monetary Fund program. According to the data, the non-banking stocks led the gains in the equity markets. They include BOPP, Total Energies PLC, Unilever and MTN Ghana. In all, 9 stocks recorded gains as compared to 8 losers. The biggest losers were Enterprise Ghana, Access Bank Ghana, and SIC Insurance. Meanwhile, the market capitalization also shot up to 74.89 billion cedis from 70.24 billion cedis on June 30, 2023. The financial stock index, however, lost 17.57 in value in the first 6 months of 2023. This was primarily due to the domestic debt exchange program, which impacted their balance sheet.
Now, the Oil and Gas Cooperative Credit Union is improving services to small and medium enterprises through increase in loan disbursement to customers. In 2022, the credit union recorded 65% growth in loan advances. Board Chairman Gideon Kuma believes improvement in the businesses of clients will have a positive impact on the national economy, including profitability of the credit union. Nanaya Ojima has more in this report.
In the year under review, loans granted to members of the Oil and Gas Credit Union increased from 659,000 to over 1.1 million cedis, representing a 65% rise. This drove an increase in membership by 53%, while the purchase of shares increased to over 221,000 cedis. Total savings have more than doubled from 713,000 cedis to 1.7 million cedis. Board Chairman Engineer Gideon Kuma says more customer-tailored services will be introduced to sustain the growth.
So we've taken it upon ourselves to assist our members, the businesses of our members, to thrive. Those doing the minier ones, those doing big ones, we try as much as possible to make sure that their business is thriving by giving them the financial support when they need it. Then we also supervise their work to make sure that whatever they are doing is beneficial to both of us. And for the past 5 years that we have been doing this, we have seen that our members are also growing. So as our members are growing financially, they also bring their finances here.
Engineer Kuma says the credit union concept should be promoted due to its advantages in financial service delivery.
Because credit union is very beneficial. It is one way to get access to quick funds for business and for other purposes. And also when you also do investment there, you have a say in it because you are a part of it. Because you are part of it, or because you are part owner, you make sure that it grows. You make sure that your money is safeguarded. You make sure that you look at what the credit union is being done to safeguard your money. And so I think we should be looking at the credit union way.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transport Company, Edwin Alfred Provençal, is proposing an increase in reach to all persons in the energy sector.
Because if you transition from an oil and gas cooperative credit union limited to an energy cooperative credit union limited, you can imagine how diverse your members will be.
For Joy News, Nana Ochima reporting.
Welcome back. Now, Obuasi is set to become Ghana's robotic hub as AngloGold Ashanti cuts sword for the construction of a state-of-the-art robotics center for students at all levels of education and community members. The facility will serve as a hub for innovation and technological growth, providing students in the mines catchment with resources and opportunities to enhance their scope in artificial intelligence with focus in robotics. Here's more.
The facility, which will be the first of its kind in any public second cycle institution, is located at the Obuasi Senior High Technical School. The project, expected to be completed in April 2024, would complement the government's drive to whip up interest in STEM education. Through the establishment, AngloGold Ashanti is seeking to nurture the next generation of individuals proficient in the use of modern technology to contribute to socio-economic development of the communities. Emmanuel Beidu is Sustainability Manager of AngloGold Obuasi Mine.
Quite a significant percentage of our youth in Obuasi have not attained higher than second cycle education. And so through a collaborative effort with our stakeholders, we are looking at how the 10-year socio-economic development plan can be used as a vehicle to help bridge this gap. And so our commitment to STEM education is one innovative way that we believe we can help close the gap. In particular, if the youth have hands-on practical experience, establishing this center of excellence here would definitely help, spur the students, on for them to continue to take up innovative and creative projects.
The Robotics Center will have 3 robotics labs, a general purpose lab, demonstration labs, amongst other ancillary facilities. In the last few years, both primary and secondary schools in Obuasi have shown dexterity with robotics after topping national contest. Director of Education at Obuasi Municipal, George Afrekumsen, is upbeat about the prospects of the technological know-how in the community.
Even before the construction of this program, I think the pupils and then the students, Obuasi Senior High Technical School has won 2 national awards. The BC School, as I said, they also won awards last year. So with the coming into force of the Robotics Center, I think it is going to go a very long way to get more inventions, if I may put it that way, coming up from Obuasi learners.
Okay, so you think Obuasi can be the robotics center for Ghana?
Yes, this is the first of its kind in Ghana, if I'm right. Now, being the first of its kind, definitely we are going to get a lot of robotic scientists and technologies from Obuasi Municipal.
The Robotics Center, costing 8 million Ghana cedis, is an initiative under the mining company's 10-year socio-economic development plan. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
That's our package for tonight. For more business news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I am Beverly Broom. Do enjoy the rest of our program.